I want to make sure you can hear me. You know, it's taken so much effort to come back on here and speak to you, because the things that I need to say are very emotionally charged for me, but not just for me, but they should be for everybody. And, you know, I don't want to, hold back what it is that I need to say that deserves real attention. It deserves real attention. And I promise you, no matter what I say, it will be 110% the truth, okay? As I was thinking about earrings to put in, or making sure every hair is in place, I realized how little that even matters, since everybody saw me in the absolute worst way that I could possibly be portrayed, right? You saw me laying in my bed suffering because of the abuse that was taking place right under everybody's noses. And it took so much effort on my part to get anyone to pay attention to the real tragedy that was going on around me, because of me being who I am, and somebody wants to hide it or steal from me, right? I'm not here to mince words, because there's a really bigger lesson that is even way more important than just me, okay? It's huge. I can't be quiet about this. I can't contain myself about it, because it's that important. So, because I don't want to miss a word, I'm going to put my glasses on to make sure. I wrote in really big letters so that I could tell you everything that is really and truly weighing on my heart, that I want to drive home so much so that you never go after anyone like this again, especially not in this country, because there are consequences. There are, okay? And I promise you, you'll recognize everything I'm saying. And if I don't say everything I meant to say, I will catch it the next time, but I'm not going to. I can barely contain myself, because I have been holding this inside as I have been watching everyone, and have been really, intuiting everything that's been going on. And again, if we aren't here together and we don't learn from these lessons, we could lose everything that actually even matters to anybody. If we don't protect our neighbors and our brother or sister, we're in big trouble as a country. It's that serious. If it can happen to me, and I've told you this before, if someone can do this to a person, and it just keeps happening over and over again, we get desensitized. We aren't alarmed anymore. We almost expect it to happen, right? Until we forget what it is that we stand for. It is that important, and your life depends upon it. It does. So I'm going to try to take a deep breath and read this to you, and I want you to really let it come in right into your heart, because I'm telling you something right now. This cannot keep happening to people. Okay? Bear with me, okay? Because, I'm Pompeii and I'm exploding a little bit here, but it really needs to happen, and you really need to listen to what I'm saying to you. Okay, here we go. I lost my place already and I haven't even started. Hold on. Dear God, please help me say those things I must say. Okay, so I wrote, Dear God, where do I start? so many led down a path to nowhere. Not only led to nowhere, but worse than that, to a real situation and consequences. They'll tell me there was no other choice or no other way, but we know better than that. We know better. After our nation's 250th anniversary, the smoke from the frying pan hit red hot, and the alarm sounded. Beep, beep, fire, fire, beep, beep. And it did. There really are synchronicities in our life if we go back and remember them, certain things that we didn't notice before because we're so used to trusting everybody around us, we just don't pay attention. But there are synchronicities along the way that help us to remember, oh yeah, and then kind of circle back if we're willing to just really think about it, right? Think about situations that are happening. But in no way would anybody expect people close to them or that had any religious beliefs whatsoever to come after an innocent person. Who would do that? What religious group that lived in the United States would really do that and feel okay about it? Okay, let's go. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there are synchronicities and clues in life that we've been trained to ignore, as that's just the way it is, or that's just the way that it's always been done, right? Never considering the outcome or of that reckless decision, one right after another. They thought, someone came up with this idea that no one is coming to save you. Treva, no one cares. Treva, especially when you have no idea what's even going on around you. You have no idea. You do because of the situations that were happening that led me up to this point. Okay? So anyway, no one cares about me. They want to be sure they drove that home. And maybe it was like, okay, well, it's not exactly like I'm in the forest and trying to, figure out how to survive and get back to civilization. No, I'm right here in the middle of town. Okay? All right, here we go. Okay, so here I am going through this. And when I called the police, they treated me like I was some kind of a joke. They supported my ex-husband and everything that he was doing to me. Nobody even bothered to check because there was money involved, okay? We all know that happened, okay? We know it, all right? Okay, anyway, so they treated me like I was no big deal. Then they send the military down. And they got some benefits from the whole deal, right? Right, they sent the military after me. All right, here we go. All right, so anyway, if the police aren't coming to your rescue, the military's coming after you, something's off, okay? And then they kind of have a narrative that they want to spin. But when they were lying about me, I realized, ages ago, they were lying about me and where all that came from. But anyway, okay, let's just keep going. Okay, so when you have no idea, you call the police, please help me, and nobody comes. Nobody takes you seriously. And here I am jumping up and down. FBI, Homeland Security, help, help. And nobody comes. Okay? Oh my gosh. And and you're treated like you're the plague. People going around saying you've got HIV and you're spreading it around because they don't want to give you the money. Okay? Because they've done some really illegal things back here. They're afraid you're going to find out about and sue them. Oh, well, that's life. And these are attorneys too, right? Why would they consider that anybody would sue them? They're attorneys, right? Okay, here we go. All right. I have mentioned before the terrible fear that sets in knowing full well that the camp was circled around me for no valid reason at all, except that money was involved, including hidden truth. People were recruited by important people that took an oath to protect us. And in our communities, well, you know that, they were supposed to protect us. Each one of us, as a citizen of this country, are considered very blessed by other nations, right? We're lucky. We're spoiled rotten. We don't even realize what we even have. Someone asked me, who do you think you are? When I said, I think we need to find out and really monitor the allocation of funds in government, where everything's going to, why we have such a deficit and who's doing what and why. I think we need to know. I mean, I don't want to go through the red tape, and they count on that. They count on us not knowing. But we can't afford anymore, to not pay attention. Because honestly, and so they asked me, who do you think you are, saying something like that? Like I'm some arrogant, I am a nobody, okay? I'm a somebody, but I'm a nobody. And neither are you. You're a nobody. I don't know if you knew that, but now you know. Okay, so we have a right to know what's going on. So they asked me, who do you think you are? And I said, I'm a citizen of the United States of America. That's who I am. We own, maybe they sold it to a corporation, I don't know. But as long as we have a Constitution of the United States, we the people are in charge. And if you forgot that, now you know. And you have a right to, oh my gosh, here, just let me stay on task here, okay? All right. So I let them, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, who am I? I'm a citizen of the United States. We have been given in the United States of America inalienable rights and protections under that Constitution of that same country, including but not limited to the Bill of Rights. I have the right to a fair trial in front of a fair judge. Those who felt you were so powerful enough to test those boundaries are very mistaken. And you that did this should be shaken to your core. You all, by setting up this mob into motion, whether or not you realize it, you don't know the gravity of that, of what you were even doing. You threatened, by coming after me like this, the very core of our democracy. You threatened that by taking this chance and coming after me. You threatened the very core of this democracy. It doesn't matter who in the country I am. It was not. If we don't stand together and look out for each other, whether it be, especially online, but even in our communities, if we do not, and forget about party politics, that is such a freaking waste of time. And I'm telling you, they do that on purpose to divide us. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick about this bickering over religion. I'm sick of bickering over parties. And we need to find a way to get together and make this democracy work. I am so tired of the fighting. I'm tired of the fighting. And I'm sure a lot of people overseas are too. Ooh. Okay, put up with me for a minute because, this is my life, okay? All right. The hell with ya. So anyway, so we must stand together. It's not a joke. If I do not have the protection of the Bill of Rights and that Constitution, neither do you. Think about it. You think about it with how you treat people on this line, online, on these apps. You think about it. And if you see a crime happening, you report it. So now, I told you before, and I'm going to tell you again. You better care what happens to me. You better care, because your life and this democracy, your life depends upon it. Your safety in this nation depends upon it. People died for this. And if you come after one person for any reason, I don't care what your secret societies are, you come after one person, you are doomed, because it will be repeated, and you could be next to the point. It's so covered up that we no longer have a United States. That's how serious it is. I'm not joking here. This is our country. It's ours. How the hell dare you do something as vile as this and call yourself Christians, LDS, Mormons, Muslim, Jews, and do something like this? How dare you? This is my life. So no matter their race, religion, political affiliations, as long as we aren't harming anyone, we have a right to believe what we know is right in our hearts. And just because you're not ready for it doesn't mean you get to stomp all over it, or to call, or to send me any kind of, channels that are shaming me in some way because of the hell you literally put me through. So, you need to realize how close you have all come for us losing that Constitution, losing that democracy by coming after me. You have no idea how close you have come by letting these people get away with it. Your freedom is at stake. Wake up! It's that important. Oh man, you have no idea. When I think about 9/11 and first responders, including natural disasters, from hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, none of that compares to the emotional compromise of psychological warfare. It doesn't even come close. It doesn't come close. Because if something breaks, we can get together and fix it. But when somebody destroys you as a human being, it's a totally different thing. Okay? It's different. So when the first responders came to help those people under the rubble, do you really think that they cared about what party they were in? Do you think they cared what color they were or what religion? Do you think they go, oh, well, I don't like that guy working in the Twin Tower. I don't think I'll save him. We'll just leave him under the rubble. No, they didn't. And some of them died from rescuing those people. They're a special breed. They didn't think, oh, well, we're not going to come and rescue her or him. Yeah, they're not worth it. We're not going to do it. This is the attitude that was taken, okay, regarding this mob that you put after me. All right, hold on. It would be shameful if no one showed up to teach you. What I was going to say here is, what if somebody shows up to teach you a lesson that you won't forget? Okay, actually I think I have, come to a place where I wanted to talk to you about something else. When I got COVID, I went to the hospital a couple of times. But the second time, my blood pressure was really dangerously low, and so they put me in the hospital, right? And, you know, I was getting better. It was slow, but I was. And I didn't get a chance to use the ivermectin. It was actually what is it called? Something is all. Anyway, it really did, you know, bother my kidneys when I came home. But anyway, for no apparent reason, I ended up in ICU. And it was peculiar because I was eating, but then on the big screen, these doctors that were in a different location came on the TV and they told me, we're going to put you on a ventilator and a feeding tube. And I'm like, well, that's weird. You know, I'm eating just fine. Why would you want to do that? And so I was really confused. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, you know, when you heard about those reports, you know, back in New York where all these people died, even the young guy, like he was in his 30s and some of them were ethnic groups, you know, I started thinking about that and about those ventilators. And I still had an IV. I got out of that bed and I started walking around, man. There was no way in hell I was going to let them do that to me. No way. And I was still really sick. I was coughing my guts out, man. It was really terrible, you know? And so, but eventually the doctor came in and he said, what's going on? I said, I don't feel like dying today. Get me out of here, you know? And so, but I was given some medication, put into a room that was way down the hall from the nurse's station, and I was still really sick. They were no longer monitoring my breathing. They were no longer monitoring my blood pressure. They just threw me in a room and walked away. And when I woke up and realized that all the lights were off, nobody was at any nursing station, even near me. They were gone. I started to cry because I'm still really sick, okay? And this was at American Fork Hospital in Utah County. I was bawling because I was thrown away. I was literally. And so the next morning, I was calling and calling. Somebody did finally come and I tried to get a social worker, but she didn't come till the following day. And I told her what happened. And I was just, you know, I could tell what was going on. And it still took me a day or two, but it didn't make any sense to get a feed. If you're laying there and you're eating hospital food, you're going to gain weight, okay? I was still eating. I didn't have a sore throat. I had infected lungs. And I was still able to eat. Okay? I'm not kidding. And they're mad because somebody in my family, in a group, told everybody that I had died from COVID. I can't even, you know? And then to find out during this investigation that somebody, during one of my millions, after cancer, after breast cancer, I had so many surgeries, right? And to find out that somebody sexually violated my body while under anesthesia, how pissed would you be? Gosh. So my gripe, if you want to call it that, my anger and hurt. Why in the hell did you do this to me? I can't wait to find that out. But I'm telling you this. You need to be watching. This is our country as of today. And I think we need to do everything in our power to recognize that and to keep watch before they rip it right out from under us. And I do mean it. Oh, I mean it too. Okay, I hope you woke up, but this is a very serious communication that I am trying to give you, and I don't want you to ever forget it. I don't want your children to forget it. It's that important. Your freedom depends upon it. We really need to stick together. We cannot let these divisions pull us apart. It is that important. And I do say this to you in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen.